Hello, fellow baseball way lifers. As I had mentioned before, periodically, almost daily, maybe a few times a day, we'll be touching on some of the topics that were discussed in the group. And one topic that intrigued me was, as I always ask when I say so-and-so's name, what's the first thing that pops into your head? The other day we had, when I say Joe Maddon, what pops into your head? And Joe has always intrigued me. To me, he is the typical baseball lifer, someone you and I can relate to, where he basically paid his dues in the minor league system for years before he came up to be a coach, and then landed a job with Tampa Bay and basically pulled strings and made that team a contender almost every year, even took them to the World Series in 2008. He has a unique mental approach. Some people call him quirky. I like to think he thinks out of the box. And when he decided to move on from Tampa Bay, he went to Chicago, and the rest is baseball history. He'll always be etched in Chicago Cubs brains as one of the saviors that brought the team to the World Series and won the World Series. You couldn't ask for anything better than that, and Chicago always loved Joe, and I'm sure Tampa Bay loves Joe. Now he's in Anaheim, and he's in a predicament. Anaheim seems to go for everything but what they need when it comes to acquisitions, and what they really need is pitching. So it'll be interesting to see what Joe does this year. Now, just looking at some of the comments about Joe, Peter Brown said quirky manager, and a lot of people do say that, and quirky can be good in Joe's case. Kenneth Mackel, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, said great man, and I agree. Joe seems to be a straightforward, says what's on his mind, speaks clearly and intelligently about the game and himself, and I admire that 100%. I guess he owns a restaurant in Tampa Bay, the 717 restaurant, because Tony Antolino mentioned that, so I'm assuming it wouldn't be mentioned if he didn't own a restaurant. So it looks like he could be a businessman on the side too. And John Rosengren said pranks. I guess along with his intellect, he can be a funny guy and bust balls like the rest of us, I guess. Bill Kraft gave him the ultimate compliment, saying he's a player's manager. And I would tend to agree. It seems like everywhere he's gone, the players do perform for him. What he did with Tampa Bay, like I said before, is amazing. Lou Plotsky summed it up best when he said ended the Cubbies drought. And for that, he'll always be etched in baseball history. Don Kecko said weird. David May Jr., unconventional. And that's probably appropriate, but in a good way. John Keenan said, never has to buy a drink in Chi-Town. That's when you know you accomplished something in Chi-Town, and that's a good thing. Ron Davis said it perfectly when he said player's manager, he will get silly, but then again, he expects you to be professional and play hard. Nothing wrong with that. Chad Odom broke the curse. 100% sums it up in 2 words. And he is the pride of Hazleton, PA. As Joseph P. Ratchko says, he's a Hazleton, PA product. Keeps it old school. People in Hazleton are real people. And Craig Heist says, a guy I wish I could cover on a daily basis, meaning I guess he has a story for you every day, and I like that. Tim Hall says, great motivator and manager, 100% agree. Billy Cormales Jr. simply says, glasses. Hey, for four-eyed folks like myself, you gotta love Joe. He's one of us. Tom Bibb makes me laugh when he said, the bastard is one good son of a bitch. Sums it up perfectly. And Ralph Neal gives a complimentary comment directed towards Joe, and he says, thanks for your work with the Cubs. I don't think you are the mastermind everyone says, but you got the job done. And after all is said and done, isn't that what matters the most? Getting the job done. Billy Kendrick says, Rolaids. I guess he experienced a few rough games with Joe behind the helm. Danny D came up with overrated. One of the few people here saying something like that. Omri Levy says John Madden. I guess sometimes when you say Joe Madden, you may get confused with John if you're not really baseball savvy. Understandable. Mike Martin says Big Ego. And basically everything. Oh, Brent Kittle says Joe Cool. Hey, all right, Joe, you're Joe Cool. I like that. Carl Malcolm says, try to say more with less talk, Joe. So, I guess he has a little patience with Joe sometimes when Joe's speaking. And what else? Did the Impossible, the shift, is related to John. Spiro Papadatos says Springsteen fan and wine lover. And as I recall, he's good friends with, I guess, the singer from Backstreets, which is one of the big Springsteen cover bands in the country. And that's good to see. I'm a Bruce fan, so I appreciate it. Again, there's a connection there, music-wise, with me and Joe. Mike Fisk, for some reason, said Circus Clown. Joe Magnu says smartest man in baseball. Just ask him. Jim Severus, I guess, isn't fond of the shift. He says stupid shift when the first thing when you mention Joe Madden's name comes to his head. And then we get a lot of great manager, Hazleton, PA, overrated, black glasses. The World Series 2016 is a common theme. And a player's manager. He's one a day for men, says Pancho Andy. And Wade Malone gives him the ultimate compliment by saying, future MLB Hall of Famer. Warren Handy says strategic. That seems to be granted. Jerry Walker says Salem Angels. And Kirby Carpenter says American Legion Week. So once again, when I ask these questions, you guys come up with a whole potpourri of answers, and that's what makes these questions so great. And again, thank you for taking the time to respond to these. I'm only going to post one video a day on the group site. So this will be like my second one today, which will not be on the group site. So what I need you guys to do is to actually mark this group on YouTube as one of your favorites. So that way you'll get updates on when a new video is posted. And then also you will also be able to see all the videos that have been posted since day one. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't. Leave a comment. And I hope you're appreciating my effort here. And I'm just trying to connect verbally with the greatest baseball group in the world. So thanks again and talk soon.